All right, so I'm gonna do this video without editing because editing sucks. It takes up time, and that sucks too. So I'm very fortunate. My wife and I lead a very simple life for the most part, and I made a decision that I wanted to do 3-gun. There's a lot of videos out there about equipment and what to buy and this and that, and you know, buy what you can buy. This is my after video of my very first 3-gun match. I've shot USPSA for about a year, had a lot of fun, did about 4 or 5 matches a month, and that was partially because my wife wanted me to wait to do the 3-gun because I have a bad habit of going overboard. And so, and I did that again this time, but in a different fashion. So I didn't buy the best of the best equipment. I didn't want shitty equipment either. So I wanted somewhere in the middle. I wanted good functioning equipment that will not let me down and that I don't have to buy a lot of crap for, because I really don't want to do a lot of extra stuff right now. I'm very busy at work and da 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 da. So this is going to be my rundown, kind of give you what I remember the prices being for each. Total bill is not easily affordable unless you have a wife with an 850 credit score and exorbitant amounts of credit that we never spend. So anywho, I just cleaned my guns after the range day for yesterday. Had a fantastic match. Don't even know where I placed, don't even know what I did, but I had fun. I didn't get disqualified, and I learned a lot. So let's start with the belt. So there's my belt. I have 3 other belts for USPSA. They're not this setup, okay? This is phenomenal. Being able to take those off and not wear them 24/7 when I was out on the match, because some stages you don't need everything. Some stage you only need one of those and one of these and one of everything. And so when I'm doing the stages and I'm setting everything up, I like to be able to remove the individual pieces that I don't need, which is great. Okay, each one of these is about $30. The mag pouches I bought the open end because I'm used to that with USPSA, but they came with the male end. I had to buy the female ends to put on the belt. This came without this. It just came with a slider, I think, and so I had to buy this. These are Invictus. Everything else is Safari Land. These are Invictus 12-shot mag carriers or shell shot carriers, and they are phenomenal with the angle that they're at and everything. Even as zero training as I did, I was able to quad load with this. Like, it was just a couple of YouTube videos and boom, I'm an expert. There's Miss Lilo in the background, sniffins with her little hidey hole. And this is a level 2 retention, so that way I don't drop my pistol and get disqualified. That's a Boss hanger set up for the Safari Land style. I have another one for single stack and some other stuff. I really like this hanger. This inner belt is actually not the one I will normally wear. I actually got to the match, and the one item I forgot after hours and hours of prep was my inner belt. And so I had to call the wife and have her drive out in her pajamas and deliver that. Okay, so next, this is my case that I store everything in. It's part of Case Club. It was $250 on Amazon, shipped 2 days. It is phenomenal. The only downside is, as you can see, my shotgun takes the full length and it only runs a +7 Nordic tube, which is plenty for me. I don't need anything that, it mattered more for me to be able to put this all in this, stick it in the closet and store it than it does to have an extra 2 shots. Okay, so anywho, so here is my shotgun. It is a Beretta B12i. They're fairly new on the market. It's the same guys who did a lot of the Benelli stuff. The difference is this massive bastard right here. I was able to quad load without any major hiccups because of that. Like, I didn't do anything to the shotgun. I ran the balls out of it yesterday, and nothing but the Nordic extension on there, and it performed flawlessly. I had no feed issues. I had nothing. It ran better than I could have, and it did amazingly well. And so I love my shotgun, and it is an amazing equipment. Now, will I probably open this up a little bit more? Yeah, as time goes on and as I refine my skills, I will. I'll probably get rid of this. This bit me a couple of times doing some different things yesterday. This has got a little sharp edge on it. I don't know if I'm ready to replace that with the Taran Tactical stuff. I am in love with Taran Tactical stuff. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But the oversized safety, I've heard pros and cons about it, because it can't catch when you discard or abandon your shotgun, and if it hits that and takes it off of safety, then you get DQ'd and go home, and that sucks. It's really oily because I just lubed it all up because I wanted to get some of the scuff marks on it, you know, trying to be nerdy and look cool, but it is phenomenal. I will have its babies. Okay. And it's phenomenally light. That's one-handed, by the way. Picked it up, moved it over, not a problem. Okay. So, as you can see, she fits like a glove. Okay. And that shotgun is the same price as a Benelli M2, which is the unequivocal leader of shotguns right now. Everybody runs that shotgun. That has been in the sport for any amount of time, and I didn't want to buy a $700 or $800 shotgun and then be pissy and turn around and then buy another $1,200 shotgun, because then you have almost $2,000 in shotguns, and you could have just started with this. And so that's why I went that route. Yeah, it's a little bit more, and not everybody can do that, but when you think about this here, like for me, I didn't buy anything else but the extension tube. So I got the shotgun and ran it, and it performed amazing. So that was that. Okay. Now, this is an Armalite chambered in 5.56, and it's the 13-inch barrel with the pin and welded 3-inch cop on it. It is loud, but it is absolutely the tits. And what's funny is for the longest time I knew this. I'm familiar with rifles and I'm familiar with pistols from my military service. Yesterday was my first time ever owning a shotgun, and I love that. But after shooting the shotgun in the 12 gauge and then shooting this was like, you know, I felt nothing. Phenomenal. This thing just performed flawlessly every step I could give it. I have a red dot. It is a Trijicon miniature rifle optic RMO. It is phenomenal. I will probably eventually buy a magnifier, only because we had some, I want to say 200-yard targets or 300-yard targets, and they were orange and blue, which is great because it's the color of the Gators, blah blah blah, but they blended in at 200 yards with the red dot and the distance and all of that stuff. So I ended up just taking 2 at the target, and I didn't get the 200-yard targets or 200-yard targets, because there was 1 of each, or 1 and 2, and then the closer targets at 100 yards I was able to crush them, not a problem. And that's on one of the videos that I'll end up posting later. This performed flawlessly. I mean, the whole thing was just phenomenal. It's the tits, and worked great. And it's stock. It's just, I actually bought it used. There is a lot of used 3-gun equipment or used market. So if this rifle originally without optic is $1,500 to $1,800, depending on where you buy it, and the optic's $5,000. Now I got this for $1,000. One of our 3-gun pros actually was not shooting the 13-inch very often anymore, and so I picked it up for a great deal. It came with part of a sling. That was a different story for another day. Some extra mags, a couple of metal of the Israeli mags that are going to be good for other stages and down the road. But anywho, so this is 1,000. This was 500. I've got two 40-round mags. I didn't actually need the second mag at all yesterday because this holds 40 something, 42, 44, something like that with the Terra tactical base pad, which is phenomenal. So I ended up just using this mag for 5 stages yesterday. This one sat as backup on my belt rig back up there, but I didn't need it. So I ended up on some of the ones where we did pistol and shotgun only, like the classifier, I ended up taking that whole part of it off the belt. Okay, so that is the rifle, and for the last part, I am currently running a M&P Pro 2 long slide in 9mm, and I like this pistol. I put on different sights, but they're not where they need to be. Something is off. I'm shooting low and to the left, and it's not trigger jerk, it's actually physically shooting low and to the left. So I need to get that figured out and get this awful color removed because I hate this. I am running 3 17-round mags with the Terran Tactical base plates that put it to 21 or 22. I'm leaving the ammo in them to compress that spring and kind of break them in a little bit. I've got about 3 weeks until the next match. So I am leaving that in there to kind of loosen them up, make them a little softer. And I've got an Apex trigger on the way and a magwell, and that'll run that out. So once it's no longer this puke brown, baby shit turd brown, I can actually be happy with that. So that's really it. That's what I ran yesterday. And it all performed flawlessly. Like, it just, with a few, oh, by the way, this was $4.99. The Dawson sights were 89 bucks, installed by my local range, or my local pro shop, which was Lawful Defense and Guns and Transfers in Gainesville, Florida. When you buy sights from them, they install them for free, like some shops do. Great group of guys. I bought this from the same company, but at the range, which is Shoot GTR, because they had it on consignment. And then they carry a lot of this Terran Tactical and 3-gun competition. It's real heavy in Florida, and it's great because a lot of our local shops will have most of this in stock. They actually had the belt for my big ass in stock, which was great. And I always want to support my local gun shops and gun ranges as much as possible, because if we don't, they will not be there anymore, and then we will not have anywhere to do this fun shit. But anywho, after talking to a buddy of mine yesterday, we talked about doing a video, and I was like, nah. And then this morning I got a wild hair up my ass where I still haven't even had coffee yet, which is seeping. And I cleaned all of my firearms, which is funny because this had a little grime and gunk in it, but I bought it used and I hadn't cleaned it since. I just took it out and ran it, which is funny as shit because that's kind of my mentality. I'm more of a show up and hang out with my wang out. And that was still had oil on it from shipping from Breda, and it had like no dirt. Like, I literally could have just licked it and it'd have been fine. So, and this I didn't even clean because it's a Smith & Wesson and it will operate flawlessly no matter what. My grip angle is the tits, even though I have Glocks, and I have shot I've had a DVC 3 gun, I've had a Shadow 2 fully tricked out, and at my level, at where I'm at, this will do just fine. Like, you could run this setup like I'm going to do. My goal is to, now that it's all complete, it's ready to go once I get this non-puke brown, I'm going to run this entire setup for 12 months, just like this, and not make any equipment changes, and just see how I do, see how I improve. When I finally outperform something here, if I can outperform it, if I can outshoot this pistol or outshoot this red dot or something like that, then I will look at something else. But until then, one of the deals I made with the missus when I went ape shit on the credit card, which, by the way, all of this stuff is a lot. 4-ish, I'd say. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4. Yeah, it's at least 4. There's at least $4,000 set up right here. And that's not to brag. I'm just saying I have a lot of money tied up in this, and it's not cheap. But when you do it, I won't have to spend any money. I don't have to spend anything else because it will run like the tits. So, anywho, this is your video. See you.